Greetings and welcome to you know what day it is. It's Monday, so of course it is Comic Book Talk with Friends Day. Don't mind me. I'm a little congested right now, little under the weather, allergy season. So you know how that actually hits. It hits hard for a lot of people. But again, if you are here, you're tuning in, then you're here for a reason. We're gonna dive into a few things, man. But first off the top, again, I made the announcement yesterday. Want to continue on with it. So basically, going forward, we'll have more details. Basically, so I'm gonna actually have the banner and everything ready for Wednesday. Say what we are doing basically is called the Halloween Initiative. Now, in case you want to know what the Halloween Initiative is, it is a fundraiser that I'm actually doing right now with the local. It's a charity basically for the local women's shelter for kids who, you know, pretty much between now and Halloween, if they can't afford to buy costumes, we want to supply costumes for those kids so they can enjoy Halloween the right way. So any donation is basically, accepted. It doesn't have to be a lot. $2, $2, $1 or $2, $5. It doesn't really matter. But again, this is going to go towards Halloween costumes for kids for pretty much the local women's shelter, so they can enjoy Halloween and celebrate just like any other kid. They do deserve that. And again, this is all for the youth. It's for the children within the area itself. I know as a kid coming up myself, I was afforded to be able to actually enjoy Halloween. My mother worked very hard to make sure that we were supplied and, we had the chance to really enjoy it just like any other kid. And I want to actually provide that same opportunity for other kids. We always have fundraisers for Christmas and for, Thanksgiving, but I want to do this for Halloween to start it off. There will be another fundraiser for Christmas as well, but this one right now is just mainly geared towards Halloween. So again, any super chats going forward will go towards that particular charity, just to let you know. So I just wanted to put it out there. We'll have more details again once you supply your super chat. What's going to happen is your donation your name will be placed on the card with your donation, so you know that it's been donated. And also, whichever kid that goes through it, it'll be a little a thank you note for them from them. So definitely, we have partnered with the local women's shelter. So more details of that coming pretty soon. Um, so yeah, just wanted to get that away off the top, just to kind of put that out there so you know. Again, I try to do these at least once a year. Every year, always donate to the local, children's hospital for cancer research, and also supply some of my own figures for free to a lucky kid who basically loves Marvel or Star Wars or DC. Is this something that I do? I try to do to make sure, that again I'm giving back, but at the same time going towards a good call, and it's all a cause, and it's all about the children. So anyway, just wanted to put that out there just to let you know this is what we got going on from now until October, mid-October. So just want to let you know. Anyway, thank you guys for being here and hearing me off the top. Again, I'm going to bring this amazing panel on so we can actually get into the discussion, and I'll actually go through and address the chat in just a moment. So again, thank you guys for being here. What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing?
What's good, bro?
That's good, man. This is good. So glad to actually have you here. Let's see here. What's going on, man? Yeah, Benny, what's going on, man? How's your weekend been, bro?
Weekend was busy. It was a fun weekend. Hectic weekend. A lot of stuff. We started off on Thursday. We went to Star Wars: Return of the Jedi and Orchestra in
Yeah.
Philadelphia. That was phenomenal. We didn't realize that there would be stormtroopers and Chewbacca and C-3PO and all kinds of I assume theater promoted cosplayers to show up and take pictures with the kids and big kids like us and adults and everybody, and it was a big celebration and fun, man. So they encouraged everybody to cheer along and boo along depending on what character showed up on screen, and it was just beautiful hearing that incredible iconic John Williams score live in orchestra as the film played. We got to see Empire like that a couple years ago, and it was just a pleasure to get to see return like that. It was just just awesome night altogether. This weekend, I did a Hershey Park with the family, with some members who hadn't got a chance to go this year yet, and just caught up on some shows. Got to, excuse me, got to finish up Sandman, and got to work on a little bit of art. So have some new stuff coming soon. Um, a buddy of mine's album drop that I did the cover for. So feel free to check out my IG and check out that album. Happy to have been able to knock out that third cover for him. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
been a fun process too, man. It's been awesome. Other than that, man, just work. So I'm happy to be here. Happy to be back in geek mode. Talk a bunch of comics with the fellas.
Yeah, man, definitely, man. Appreciate that as always. What's going on, Max Effort, man? What's going on? You had an incredible weekend, man, and stuff that was going on with you, man. How was everything
Brendan had
going?
a boring weekend.
And
Not
and
much happened
and,
with him at
and
all.
we want to say everybody out here because we didn't get a chance to say it because we didn't have a show in between that time. But we want to actually say officially on this happy belated birthday to Brendan. He just
Thank
turned
you.
78.
Yes, yes,
So
indeed.
definitely
Still
happy
younger than
birthday
you.
to him. Still younger than me, exactly. So everybody out there, special shout out and happy belated birthday. To Brendan. Basically another year around the sun, still immortal. So definitely, man. Glad to have you here, and hope your weekend was cool, man. How's everything, man?
Yeah, it was cool. It was with the family for the 40th. Took the kids out on the water in a sailboat for the first time, so they loved that. Yeah, just had a good kind of family couple of days, and then right into Fan Expo on Friday, and was basically on the show floor for about let's see, about like 6.5 hours on Friday, because we starts at 4 on Friday, but the passes that we had got us into the early showing starting at 2. So we were there from 2 until about 8:30, and it closes at 9. And then Saturday was back down there at 10 o'clock when it opened, and left at like 6:30 and it closes at 7. So there, and then I only did a couple hours solo on Sunday. My wife and kids were asleep. I did a couple hours on Sunday morning, solo, and then came back, and my parents came up to see the kids and everything. And then earlier today, like in the middle of the day, all of a sudden I woke up and didn't realize that I had fallen asleep. I passed the fuck out on my couch. I was just, it's just super fucking tiring. It's like while you're there, you're not tired at all because you're just moving. You're
Adrenaline, you're
constantly
always
looking at
moving.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's stimulation everywhere. There's always something to be looking at, to be experiencing. So you don't even realize it until the parking lot that I parked in the first day was like right near the convention center, no problem. But then that lot was booked up for the next 2 days, so I booked spots in this other garage that is like deceptively close to the convention center because it's like right there. You can see the convention center, but there's this massive fenced off parking lot for the postal service trucks that get parked there down in the Seaport District in Boston, and you can't go through that. So you've got to actually walk all the way around that thing to then get to so it's like it's a long fucking walk. It's I mean, not crazy. It's like a 10-15 minute walk, but when you've been on the con floor for like 7 hours and you don't feel like you're tired, and then on the walk to the car, that's when it hits you. That's when you start like, oh man, my dogs are barking. I'm beat. So, each day is, but like you wake up the next morning and you're just like, I'm ready to go. Like, I can't wait to get back there. So then it all hit me this afternoon, and I just passed out on my couch.
Hell yeah. That's pretty much us every year at the New York Comic Con. Walking around, but you don't realize it until you get back home how much walking you've done, and your body is like shutdown mode.
And
That's how it was.
you've waited all year to be there, and you've paid to be there. So like,
Yeah.
there's no being tired while you're at the at the show. After, okay, but like once you're there, you're in that mode and you just go.
Yeah. There's no room to be tired. You can yeah. There's none of that being tired crap. So you might as well forget that. That's normally how it is. So,
Especially
but
not
yeah,
if I'm
man.
there. I don't let anyone rest.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much. That's how it be.
Nope, you got
Um,
stuff to do.
yeah, hell yeah.
a
But again,
lot to
man,
do.
we're gonna definitely jump into like all the con shenanigans in here in a bit. Let me actually address the chat really quick. We got a $20 super chat. My man OG Star Wars fan with Star Wars was just Star Wars. Thank you for that. Halloween is one of my favorite holidays. My single mother of 5 made all our costumes, and I've won many contests as a kid and adult. Thanks for all you do, man. Appreciate that. Thank you very much, and thanks for your donation
Shout out to your
again.
mom too.
Exactly. So definitely shout out to your mother for holding it down, man. So yes, OG, this $20 will actually be put with your name on it. So basically, that this is going towards a good cause. Once we've actually collected, once this ends, all the money is going to actually go towards purchasing the costumes. We'll put out pictures, names attached to the costumes, who donated, and stuff like that. And again, this is going to go through towards a great cause, man.
Does
So
it use their screen names?
Hmm?
Does it use their screen names?
That's what I'm gonna do.
Like, is some kid gonna get
What-
a gift from like SpongeBob SquareBalls?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
Kinky
I
Sphincter and all those,
I
like-
might change. I'll just use like you know what I mean. I'm not gonna full name. I'm just
The Captain Kirk costume with OG fan when Star Wars was just Star Wars.
Yeah, seriously.
yeah, definitely that'd be funny. So yeah, that'd be interesting. But nah,
I hope the booty bot donates. I
I
want to see
know.
that label.
BootyBot
They
have to
should.
definitely come through and donate,
Yeah.
man. So let me address the chat real quick and everybody that we actually got in here. We got a few people in here. Actually, we got a lot of people in here saying, definitely happy birthday. We got Mr. Mr. McPickles. We have the Docinator basically coming in. He says, happy birthday, Benjamin Butt Cheeks. We have, let me see here. That's funny. Let me see here. Brendan, I would say Brendan needed that scooter. Definitely. They talk about for Comic Con. Happy B-Day. This is mainly from Tobar. We have Justin McFly. We have William Owens. Happy birthday. We have Yuli the second kid. Bet that Coolio mixtape is worn out. Let me see who we have. Calvin Williams. Happy birthday. Who else we got? Eric Patterson coming through with a happy belated birthday. We have the Il Yankee, happy belated birthday. AJ Agrusa, happy birthday. Mark P. Renz Talentino, the talented, amazing Renz Talentino, happy birthday. So yeah, we got Mike Fiala. Let me see. Amber May came through as always. Once again, OG fan with Star Wars, just Star Wars. We have is that shit to I can't even pronounce that name, man. What is this?
Shetinator. God, fuck if I care.
Congratulations on 3K.
Chitinotrigator.
Oh, he said,
obviously,
yo.
it's Chitinotrigator.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rolls right off the tongue.
Exactly. He said, congratulations on the 3K, Benny Butt Cheeks. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that, bro. We hit that yesterday.
See, now I'm getting confused who they're like. There's sometimes people call you Benny Butt Cheeks, and sometimes people call me Benny Butt Cheeks.
Yeah, I know.
There's too many cheeks.
Yeah, I know. Benny Butt, way too many cheeks. We have Tobar. Let me see who else we got. Vinny out there. 616 is in the building. We got AJ Agrusa. We got Eric Patterson. So we got quite a few people that actually coming through. We got another $5 super chat that actually just came through here a minute ago, and that's by the Borg Cube 1 of 2 $5 super chat. Costumes for Kid donation. Have a great show. Thank you very much for that, man. We do appreciate that.
We'll keep our eye out for 2 of 2.
Yeah, exactly. 2 of 2. So definitely thank you for coming through. Again, like I said, all the donations, proceeds, any type of super chat that comes through tonight or going forward up until October will be donated to the women's shelter for the kids, just to kind of supply some costumes so they can have a good time and enjoy Halloween just like anyone else. So definitely want to put that out there. So thank anybody who actually has donated so far between yesterday and today. Thank you very much for that. We do appreciate you.
Yeah. We had to deal with the costumes where the mask would suffocate us. We were lucky to make it home alive.
Yeah.
Remember those heavy ass masks? Couldn't breathe out of them. They had like two little pinholes to breathe out of the nose.
You
yeah,
like, yeah,
and
the
it had
eyes
the
too. You're like walking into walls and shit.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
and it had the little rubber band strap around the head.
Yeah,
I hated
that's
that,
it.
bro. I hated it because if it broke, it snapped. It yet one of your ears was swollen.
Yep.
So yeah, those was the day. Real quick though, right out the top from me, I think basically what we're going to do right off the top before we jump into today's discussion is comic recommendations. Again, I have quite a few because I did like some reading over the weekend, a lot of reading over the weekend. I did, anywhere from Miles Morales, like that right there is getting incredible. Amazing
Yep.
Spider-Man. Uh, um, that I've basically been reading, pretty much every Avengers book leading up until Acts, which is, again, the first issue was released, so I have that as well. That's incredible. We'll talk about that like probably on a couple episodes, like once we start getting rolling into it. But some of the ones also. Some of the ones that were actually my top choices, some of my top choices right now, one being, of course, because I loved the books itself, is this one right here, which is Deceased. This is the new Deceased, where now we basically find out, what happened. Like Superman has spent so much time in the sun, absorbing so much energy. His son goes to basically retrieve him. They're on a mission to basically cure him since the cure was administered. Also, we find out that Supergirl herself, in this particular book, you find out that instead of her actually coming to Earth, she was dispatched to the planet of gods, all gods, where dark side everyone is, and they've all been infected. So that's crazy there. And it's a lot that's actually going on in this book that's incredible. So I definitely would suggest that. Also, I would also suggest especially with what's coming Wednesday, where we'll actually see the She-Hulk. I have all the issues. I've actually read through it so far. It's a pretty good book. I mean, this is everything that happened after, of course, she, being at one point she was a god, also being at one point that she was almost the world breaker She-Hulk at one point.
She went through the Red Room and
Avengers. She went through the Red Room, yep. Avengers and all that. So a lot of that. These books start. So this is basically continuation after the fact that she's back to normal and what happens to her life going forward. There's a lot that she has to atone for, even being a lawyer, getting back into that mode. So it's a lot. And this is like a setup, pretty much letting everybody know. I love the story so far, and I've always been a She-Hulk fan, so I would definitely suggest these. Also, another one, surprisingly enough, I was, when they suggested it to me, I was like, all right, let me just take a read. But so far, it's been dope as hell. And that's all the Demon Day books. Demon Days, Mariko. If you read these are incredible. Like seriously, like there's different stories, but so far they've been good. And if a lot of people who are into like anime stuff like that, these books are definitely good reads. So I would actually suggest those so far to people. That's my suggestions for right now. Vinny, I know you had like quite a few that you sent through. Give me a second here. My phone is going off the jack right now. What is going on? Let me see here. Yeah, so there's quite a few.
Yeah, I posted a bunch of images from the same comic that I wanted to talk about. My recommendation for this week is I wanted to talk about Something is Killing the Children. So
that book is blowing up.
Yeah, you guys might have heard of it. It's just catching a lot of steam right now. It's by James Tynion Fourth, and I gotta look at it because I'm gonna butcher his name, but it's Werther Deladera. I'm sure I butchered it, but anyways, it's pretty simple. It's a really like easy read, but what I love about it is it's a mainstream book with a lot of gore that doesn't really pull any punches at all. There's there's a lot of excellent world building in this. This story is essentially, without spoiling much, about basically a secret ops group that kills monsters, and the main the protagonist of the story is Erica Slaughter, and we don't know a ton about her yet, just that she is just a complete badass who's super intelligent and kind of a rebel within this underground society. What's really interesting is the biggest point of the society is not so much protecting children, but protecting the anonymity of, keeping the world from knowing that there's monsters that are actually responsible for so many disappearances of children over the years. So one of the coolest things about this is, again, the world building, because the reveal of where the monsters are originating from is really fascinating, and the different rules that go along with how to dispose of them and what their habits are and how they feed and all that stuff is really, really interesting. And only children can see them. Adults can't see them, but there's tricks and workarounds for adults seeing them, even temporarily. So there's a lot of like interesting quirks and different things that are really fascinating the way that they handle it. The writing is incredible. I love the stories are just really good. It's one of the most readable books. It's like you just want to go through and read it again. Like once you're, it's like a horror movie that you want to go back and watch, where you're not on pins and needles about what's going to happen the first read through. You get to like read it again and take in things that you maybe didn't catch the first time. Mm-hmm. And the art is just incredible. And again, it's very, very violent, and which it sounds morbid, but it's kind of refreshing, because a lot of times in mainstream media nowadays, a lot of punches are pulled as far as violence and stuff like that. You just don't see it as much anymore. And this doesn't pull money punches at all. So highly recommend it. I missed a boat on it at first. I didn't cast it. I heard a lot about it, and I picked up the first trade a couple months ago, and I just devoured it and just picked up the other two. So I've read the first arc, and it's only on, I believe, issue like 25 now, and the first 3 trade paperbacks almost cover all that. So it's not being put out super fast paced, so it's really easy to catch up to where they are now, to get on board with it if you aren't already. But it's highly recommended. I love this book. It's really interesting, really fascinating, and that's that's my pick for the week.
Yeah, this definitely sounds interesting, bro. I haven't. I mean, it's definitely, it was actually recommended, and it's, to be quite honest, it's in my box right now.
Yeah, it's as soon as you start reading it, it's like, okay, you're like, oh, okay, I get it. This is why everyone's talking about it.
Okay.
And the artwork on some of the variant covers has been crazy.
There's so many variants, and they're all just, it's like every artist wants a piece of this book's variant list. Like everybody wants in on, like, there's so many different variant covers, from Jay Lee to, like, everybody has a something that's killing children variant. It's really good. And it also seems like almost one of those books where, like, as you're reading it, like, this is going to be picked up. It's going to be gutted. It's going to be nerfed. It's going to be changed. Mm-hmm. They're going to make a very toned down version of it. But this is definitely something that I could see being on Amazon. I would love. Hopefully,
I think this one has Amazon all over it.
I hope Amazon gets this.
Yeah, I think it's between Amazon and Netflix that would go. I don't think it would end up on HBO Max.
I would love,
because of what they're focusing on, but
I would really love if Amazon got this and animated it, so that way they could keep the gore as they have with Invincible.
Yep, that'd probably be the best way to, because I don't imagine that anybody,
because so much of the gore
1-to-1 on this.
So much of the gore virtually is child death, and mainstream media, like, hell, when I remember watching like a martial arts film where like a bus full of kids died, and I'm like, that couldn't even happen in America, like that. It's so taboo to have child death on screen. So I don't see them doing a live action of this any kind of justice, but at the same time, I feel like they're gonna try. So hopefully, if they do try, it's with the animated one where they can get away. And Amazon seems to be, I mean, Kirkman hasn't been told no to anything he's tried on Invincible yet, and
indie hits have been optioned like crazy. I mean, Amazon right now with Paper Girls, like all of this stuff. So I think this is ripe for it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is right up Amazon's alley. So hopefully, if anyone picks it up, it's them. So that way, it can just basically get ported over, and that would be pretty damn cool. But as for now, I'm happy just getting to read it. So
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. Like I said, it was a great week, a weekend for reading. Yuli the Second Kid, yeah, currently X-Men Red, definitely. X-Men Red is an incredible, bro.
Yeah.
The shit that's going on right now is just like flooring me. Also, read the first issue of Clea. Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's another one we're gonna see on the screen at some point.
Yeah, that's definitely another one that we're going to see on the screen, and it's amazing. Like, I'm not going to front. Like, from what I've seen so far, it's super dope. I mean, what I've read so far is super dope,
Yeah.
and it explains. I don't want to give away to people who haven't read it, but it explains a lot about her, her backstory, the reason why more so she's selected, and also, but I would actually suggest people read the Death of Doctor Strange first before you go into that section. Also, make sure that you are reading everything between X-Men and the Avengers right now, leading up until Judgment Day, because there's a lot that's actually going to transpire between them and the Eternals, and that's going to be the first issue is dope as fuck. I mean, literally, it is. So definitely, there's a lot that's actually going on right now. And Miles, like the story with Miles Morales is incredible right now too. So it's a lot of good reads. I actually sat my ass down and started reading as much as I could. So yeah, it's incredible. But Brendan,
There's
you got
more.
any? Yeah, there's
So
there's more. Real quick before you do though, I want to actually go through these super chats real quick because we got two of them. We got Mark P with a $5 super chat, costumes for kids. Thank you very much.
I like your profile pick there. I just picked up
Hell yeah.
I picked up the first appearance of Bishop this weekend.
Yeah, hell, thank you, man. Thank you very much for that. We got another super chat that actually came through, $5 super chat. And that's from, as soon as it wants to pop up, my computer acting dumb. Yeah, we got it from Bert. What should I read next? I have both Tower of Babel Court Court of Owls.
I'm Court of Owls all day.
Yeah, Court of Owls definitely. What do you gentlemen
Tower of
think?
Babel.
Costumes
Tower of Babel is a classic.
Yeah, Tower of Babel was definitely dope. Both of them are dope. I mean, Court of Owls though, it's a lot of legacy there. But I mean, again, both of them.
The good thing is once you finish one, you got the other one waiting. So it doesn't like you're good no matter what.
You definitely can't go wrong on that. But yeah, go ahead, Brendan. What were your suggestions, bro?
So if you haven't been reading this this new Ghost Rider run, it has been really, really cool, very mysterious. And last week we got issue number 5, and we got the 50th anniversary Ghost Rider. What's it called? Like Gift of Vengeance or something? I can't remember. Or Vengeance Forever. Number 1. Where he goes to see Necros, like a seer that uses tattoos to kind of like reveal things about your past and your future and stuff. It's really, really cool book. So definitely check that out. Art is phenomenal. This most recent issue had, I won't spoil everything, but like it's basically like a road race, like in up the what's called the Devil's Backbone, and it's got like Blade and Wolverine and Doom and like all these other guys, in this fucking just mad, like crazy motorcycle race. It's trippy, but it's really cool. So definitely read that. Also got The Punisher right now has been absolutely phenomenal. Last issue last week was great. I will say, all the controversy over the Punisher logo being like taken away, like Marvel was just laughing behind the scenes at everybody thinking there was a political thing when this was 100% story driven, and it was perfect what they did. And the original logo comes back, but it's not Frank wearing it. And that's a trip, and it's fucking cool. So definitely read this Punisher run. It's also about to intersect with my favorite, Daredevil. And we've got issue number 2 of this run coming out tomorrow or Wednesday this week. So definitely you want to check that out. You're you really should. Those are books that are absolutely just like going off right now. So that, and then a sleeper thing from Marvel that a lot of people I think aren't really paying attention to is Iron Cat. All right, that's Black Cat and Iron Man, and then somebody else from Black Cat's past coming back. And I know it doesn't seem like a top line kind of book, but it's actually been really cool. So that's definitely a sleeper that I think people could just jump right into. You don't need a ton of backstory because it fills in what's necessary there. But I've always liked the character of Black Cat. I think she doesn't get enough credit. And so I think that's one worth jumping in. And then one last one I'll give people is an indie. This isn't digital. If you read digital comics, you have to pick this one up physically, at least right now. From Scout Comics, Mr. Ista, #1. This is a trippy, hilarious book. The main character, Mr. Ista, he is a cosmic assassin bunny rabbit. Okay. And he's got this parasitic thing like eyeball that attaches to his hand that talks and kind of like narrates, throughout and talks for him while he has an inner monologue, and can turn into any weapon he can think of. and he speaks with a British accent, and he swears a lot, but he swears like British people swear. This book is hilarious. The art is really cool, and it's just a fun, vulgar, ridiculous book to
right
check
up your
out.
alley. Right up your alley.
And it's a fast read. The art style is really cool. It's just a fun book that you just want to be able to jump right into something and it be ridiculous.
You gotta turn that down.
Check out Mr. Ista because it is definitely, it's worth it. So that one you got to pick up physically. If you do like digital, like on the Comixology app, definitely check out Scott Snyder's new books that he's got on Comixology. There's one called Barnstormers that takes place in like the early, like it's around like the 1920s or 30s, I think. And then there's another one, Canary, that is in the 1800s and has this kind of weird supernatural. You're not really sure what the hell's going on, but both are really, really good. And the first issues of both of those are free through Amazon, Kindle, and Comixology. So check those out. The subsequent issues you'll have to pay for, but I guarantee you, if you read those two, the first issues of those books free, you're going to want to read the rest of them when they come out. So check those out.
Definitely, man. Definitely appreciate that. Jedi Kid, we got the kid in the building, all day, every day. New York representing. I see you all day, man. What's going on? You smelling like baby powder and baby oil. What's going on, with you, brother?
Dude, I'm so sorry, bro. We're running around today getting the last minute stuff from my daughter. She's going to 3rd grade tomorrow. So
okay.
Last minute stuff for that, man.
Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And now it might be a little crazy to getting the hair done in the living room.
I feel you. Real quick, but no, before
I had to get my hair done soon.
I know, bro. Come down. My daughter got you.
Do you got any well, before I get to you real quick, let me get this super chat out the way. It's a $10 super chat. We got from S Beam, recently picked up the Batman Judge Dredd collection again. I had it when I was younger and was a huge fan of the artwork. Have any of you read the collection? I have it. If so, what are your thoughts?
A long time, dude.
It's been a while. It's been a long time since I've actually read it. But a minute. Like minute. But yes,
if you like that, they did announce recently they are doing another Batman and Spawn crossover.
Yes,
I had that one too.
I was excited about that. Hopefully, they get another chance to do it better because the art was dope, but the story was not exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that, but like anytime there are cool crossovers like that, like even like the Batman and Ninja Turtles, right?
Which was surprisingly good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but
good.
Like we all read it just because, well, it's fucking Batman and Ninja Turtles. I have to read it, even if it's bad. Right. But then it ended, and the Batman and Daredevil. It's always Batman, man. I mean, I guess he's like the character most often that if we want to see crossed over, there's so many characters you want to see him in the presence of, him and Iron Man, or him and Wolverine, him and Daredevil. So Moon
He's that
Knight
street
and
level
Batman,
dude,
right?
Yeah.
So
And usually those projects come from guest writers who are allowed to just pick whatever their dream project is, and usually they want a take on Batman. Like Kevin Smith, like that's the first thing he wanted to write. Even when they gave him Green Arrow, he put Batman in it the first couple issues.
Yeah.
Definitely, man. Definitely. So, thank you for that, S Beam. Again, your name's going to go in the giveaway. I mean, not the giveaway, but the charity for Halloween. This is the Halloween initiative. That's what it's basically called. So, definitely, man. I appreciate that $10 super chat. Jedi Kid, you got any recommendations, bro? Before we move on to our topics, man.
Yes, sir. I had been reading and getting back into reading. Got to finish it up. This Vader saga.
Yeah.
Dude, this book. Oh my God, bro! This Vader series is amazing. To see Vader in his rawest and the power, his power levels are ridiculous in this book. But the way you really see how the Emperor, like, I don't understand, like, you got him because you wanted to bring him over and you went in for his power, but he treats Vader like dog shit. Like through the whole series, he tries to kill him and everything. Like, I'm like, what the hell? Like, I understand, the power of two, and I mean the rule of two, and one is supposed to kill the other one at some point, blah blah blah. But he set him up like big time. Even with he sent the when he sent in the Exegol, he couldn't use the force. He told me he couldn't use the force, and he had to fight with he got to fight against this bounty hunter. He said after him, bro. It was, this is awesome. It's an awesome take on Vader's life in between what is it? Revenge of the Sith and New Hope.
Yes.
I love these books, man. I got to finish it up. I think I got like 2 more to get, and I'll be done with the series. But I recommend it, man. It's a very, very awesome book to pick up.
Yeah, both Vader and Star Wars that dropped around 2015 after Force Awakens were just really surprisingly good. I mean, a lot of the Dark Horse books are kind of well revered for the time, but don't really hold up. I don't think a lot of people, kind of recall them being amazing.
The Dark Horse series,
amazing stories that added too much. I mean, they added a bunch, but those Marvel books and after Force Awakens dropped were just really, really well done.
This Marvel storytelling of Vader, they really stepped their game up with the whole Vader saga, man. Seeing Vader ride a freaking space octopus, like what the hell? Like, and then he took out the Emperor sent one of his acolytes to go try to kill Vader in space. So she had a Death Star, like not Death Star, but like a Star Destroyer full of TIE fighters. Vader took out all of them with one ship. And he had the bounty hunter hanging from his ship while he was flying. I'm like, what? What a good book, man.
Definitely,
it's
man.
A really good book, bro.
Definitely, bro. Yeah, definitely good reads, man. For all around. So anybody out there, like I said, these are a couple of suggestions from us. We're going to get back into doing suggestions every week, back to just, like I said, clearly comics, even though we know She-Hulk is dropping again, this book.
Starting about
with these books, I'm saying pretty good. We talk about Sandman too.
Oh yeah, that's
briefly. But yeah, we got She-Hulk this Wednesday again, so we'll be covering that, doing some coverage on that definitely as well. There's going to be a lot of Easter eggs in it and a lot of cameos in it, so definitely we're going to check that out. But yeah, thanks everybody for the suggestions. But moving on, basically today we are going to talk about preparation and the shenanigans, actually what goes into the con. Brendan, consider the simple fact that you just actually came off of the Fan Expo. Consider the simple fact that New York Comic Con is coming up in October. We just thought it was a good way to kind of jump in it and just talk about preparation, the things that you should expect at a con, easy finds, pickups. We gave them a preview like last week when we were talking about grading. And how you find it, the best way to kind of find some of the books that are graded that you want to actually pick, CGC things that you want to actually pick up. So definitely we're gonna go on that. But Brendan, like, just kind of share with us briefly, bro, about your experience. First day, what you actually there for, things that you actually seen, how you actually prepped for it. Did you walk around the con butt ass naked? Just stuff like
He
that.
probably
Just kind of
did.
let us know. He probably did. Just
Knowing
kind of
him.
let us know, pretty much, how you basically went about it, bro.
So yeah, man. I mean, I've been to cons before, but it's been 3 years.
Yeah.
So when you first walk through that door and you just see it took me a second. I was like, oh shit. But then I had to move fast because there was like a wall of people behind me. But yeah, man, it was an experience, dude. It really, really was. If you've never been to a con and you're thinking about going to your first one, or you haven't been to one in in the COVID era, and you're looking to get back to your first one, when you first walk in, it just kind of washes over you, and you're like, oh, I'm here, I'm back. Like you get
Home.
that electricity in your blood, right? Yeah, you're just ready to
That's
go.
what I always say, home.
Yeah, and
it's like candy store vibes.
Yeah, dude, and so it was, man. I gotta say, so you gotta have a plan. You gotta look at like, okay, this is the schedule for what's going on and what you want to do. If there are panels that you want to go to, if you're doing autographs, either at a booth or the photo ops and stuff like that, you gotta kind of look at it and be like, how many days out of the whole thing are you going to be there, and prioritize. And so it's like, okay, I've got this guy's going to be signing at this time. I want to do this photo. I got to make sure I have time to do these other things. And you just kind of map it out from there. You want to give yourself enough time so that, you're not standing in a line forever, and then you don't have the time to do what you want to do later. Case in point, I knew that Frank Miller was going to be there and he was going to be signing stuff. I did not know.
Awesome.
And so I'm in the line for to get a book signed by Ryan Stegman. He did what I think is one of, if not my favorite variant cover of the Daredevil one that just came out. So I got 2 copies of that. I plan to get that because it's one of my favorite covers. So I plan to get it graded at some point, but I wanted to get another one signed, knowing that CGC wasn't going to be present at the event, so I wasn't going to be able to get that. I didn't want to get a green label, because they couldn't verify the signature. So I was like, I'll have one signed and one unsigned graded. Well, it turns out, and this is something to check on in the future, because this doesn't happen that often. At least it didn't used to. But there's a company there that isn't CGC but works with CGC, so they actually could verify signatures there and then submit the book to CGC to get graded. I didn't realize that until after I had gotten Ryan Stegman's autograph. They let me, do it anyway because the booths were right next to each other.
Yeah.
But then what happened was I realized, oh well, shit. They have people who can verify stuff, and Frank Miller's here. So now I'm like, okay, I'm going to spend, it was $80 per item to get signed for Frank Miller. So I pay that, and then he's signing later in the day. So I'm like, okay, I go, even getting there pretty early, I was in that line for 2 hours.
Damn.
Okay? But because I had planned the rest of my con so well, and I had been able to just weave in and out and go through the whole show floor over and over again, spending the 2 hours in that line didn't screw me over and didn't stop me from seeing or doing anything that I wanted to, because I had kind of mapped everything out. So by the time I realized that was an option, it wasn't like, well, shit, I want to do that, but I've got XYZ that I have to do at that time, so I'm not going to be able to. I had the leeway to be able to say, okay, I'll burn those 2 hours in that line and get a Daredevil Punisher team up book signed by Frank Miller. So, so that kind of thing about just kind of planning, but then giving yourself leeway so that you can do other stuff that pops up that you're like, oh shit, I want to do this. I wanted to, get pictures with my kids sitting in the 66 Batmobile. I was able to do that.
That was
right?
awesome,
I didn't have that planned. It was just, I had the time built in. So that, and then the other thing, and we mentioned this briefly last week, cash is king, man. Bring cash with you to the show floor. And the reason is, with the exception of some things like, like when you're buying like prints or like, certain like physical products or something like that, it might not be negotiable. But other than that, everything is negotiable. Okay. I did not pay, and I picked up a lot of stuff. I literally did not pay the asking price on a single thing that I bought at that con. Not
That's
one.
what's up.
That's dope.
Dude is asking for 175 for a book. I asked him if I could open it, and always ask before you don't just open up a bag and take a book out without asking if you can do that. Sometimes they want to be the one to take it out. Sometimes, but just always ask. But I asked, take it out immediately. I'm looking at it, and it's it's from the 60s. I can see some damage on it. That's to be expected. But once I took it out and he could really see that I could see, what I was working with, he was like, but I can let it go for 150. Right. And then after that, not that I knocked him down too much further, but I had like 20s on me and it was just easy, no change. Just, I was like, how about 140 cash? And he's like, I can do that. So
awesome.
140 cash instead of 175, but they're willing to do that because they don't have to do any credit card processing fees, and it's faster. It's just boom, cash done, on to the next customer. And that means they have more cash on hand if they need to make changes with other people. And also if they decide they don't want to claim the full amount that I paid for it on their taxes, that's up to them. But
that's up to them.
So cash is king. And if you just go in and you be like, okay, it says this, I'll pay this, you're giving money away. What's the worst that they can say? If you say, hey, can you knock $15 off? I'll do this for $1.50. He says no, he says no. Then you just decide if you want to pay the full price or not. But almost always these guys, they're dealers. They will work with you as long as you're not making, offers that are insulting. Like if he's 175, I'll give you $50. They're going to tell you to fuck off.
Yeah.
I had a dude that was asking 165 for something. And I was like, how about 150? That's only $15 off. It's not a massive.
There's nothing to cry over. Right.
That helps me a little bit, especially if I do that on all of them. It adds up to a lot for me. And for him, he literally said to me, he's like, thank you for making a reasonable offer to me. I'm happy to do it. Right? Because
don't be surprised if there are dealers who aren't as nice. Because
and if they aren't,
definitely
they are.
I've seen that in New York. There was a couple of times where I seen somebody make a reasonable deal and they just looked at them like it was an insult. I'm like, you realize where you're at, right? Like, why? Right. What bothered me most is like there's other people around, and you look like an asshole, and now I just put back what I was looking at because you were shitty to this guy.
As a dealer,
NYCC is the home of the hustler. They're not going to play that there.
As a dealer, you should not be like that. You are in the wrong place if you're going to have an attitude like that if you're at a con, but you will find them. So the thing is, if I get somebody like that, then immediately I'm like, all right, I can go somewhere else, dude. I'm not even going to then try and haggle further or buy something else full prices. I'm just going to be like, okay, cool. Peace.
And my only point to that is
cash somewhere else.
Don't think that Brendan's wrong if you come across one of those people. That guy's the dickhead. Just move on. As long as it's a respectful offer, they should at least hear you out. Even if they say no, if it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Find someone else because there'll be other. Whatever book you're looking for, somebody else will have it.
A lot of vendors will work with you, bro. If you give them like Brendan was saying, a reasonable price, you can't come to them like $100.
That's how they get their books.
Yeah,
that's how they get their books.
Hundreds of other people. So if someone's an asshole, then that's their loss. Just keep it moving. There's somebody else who wants your money.
Exactly. 9 out of 10 won't be like that asshole. But if you're respectful, they will appreciate you and they will work with you more. Right? Yeah. And they'll be like, you know what? You made a reasonable offer on that. Come back. I'll hook you up, next book. There you go.
Brandon.
I like it. There you go. Hey, man.
Yeah, let me ask you, bro.
Does it revert by saying butt cheeks and just reverse back to
Reverse.
The ass is actually cut out of the back of that suit. There's no material.
You got the
on
Prince pants on.
He
Okay,
jumps
I
off the
see.
roof, butt cheeks, and
see.
just
Butt cheeks.
Yeah, just butt cheeks, bro. Like straight
But
up.
what you do when you buy like
Superpower.
the signed artwork, like the posters? I go. They have a guy. Well, the ones I go to usually have the guys there that give you the CGC sticker and put it on the back, and they put it into the system.
Yeah, you can.
Do you do that too?
I don't.
With the posters though.
I don't get art prints and stuff.
I like to get the prints from them, man. The
like
art prints from the
CGC.
artists.
Like I'll buy prints. I don't bother getting them graded and verified. To me, like
prints are always for me. I can't imagine reselling a print.
Yeah, to me, it's like my Alex Ross stuff. Like, if I ever unloaded that, it would probably be just like to a friend, to another collector that I know. I'm not putting it up on eBay or something like that. So art prints, I don't bother getting graded. I mean, you can get just about anything graded. You can get like vintage like video game cartridges.
Yeah, I've seen that. Right? I've seen that, which is crazy.
CGC is actually, I don't really understand how this is. Why this is really a thing or how it's going to work, but CGC will actually start like verifying and grading Funko Pops soon, right? It's kind of crazy. I mean, maybe Hot Toys will be next. I don't know.
Right.
There's no Grails.
Next to be Jordans. They'll be doing a deal with StockX, and
it'll be anything collectible. They'll add to the list at some point.
It's crazy because, like I said, they've already in a sense added Kenner figures.
Yeah.
To what? It's a CGC grading.
That CGC, yeah.
Stop playing.
Yeah, they gotta stop. It takes them a year already. Stop. Slow down, CGC. Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like they're grading anything that they can get their hands on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
that's just greedy.
I don't, like I said, I don't mess with like doing the art prints. I stick just to the books, as far as what I might get graded. But like. So similarly, what you mentioned art prints though, I don't typically try and haggle over price for art prints.
Yeah, I don't do that either with the prints.
Because typically you've got artists that they're trying to feed their family. Like
true. Yeah, I don't haggle them for that.
Cons. I'm not haggling with them. Whereas, comic book sellers, they're still trying to make a living, but they're also getting their hands and moving like $10,000, $15,000 book, So for a single guy, that is busting his ass and his fingers to the bone, just, drawing, I'm not going to haggle with them on prints, but I will say again, this is the simplest thing. It sounds corny. Be nice. If you are nice to these people, they will hook you up.
I always conversate with them, man.
There was this dude. There was this booth that they had a bunch of prints, and it was like you get two, you buy two and you get one free. And I was like, all right, I bought two for my daughter, and then they had a really cool Spider-Verse print, so I was like, I'll take that one as the free one. So I got two for my kids. One of the ones that my kid got was the Light Fury from How to Train Your Dragon, right?
Oh, okay, yeah, cool.
They had a Toothless, and we were nice, and we got along with the people behind the booth. Dude handed me the bag. He's like, I can't give you Light Fury without Toothless, so I put them in there for you too.
Wow, that was nice.
Gave us a free one when we already got a free one for buying two. He was like, you can't not have the pair, and he put another one in there for my kid. Like there are good people that work at these cons.
That's how Starlin did us, man.
Them, they will be good to you. So just
Starlin did me like that.
It sounds cheesy, the golden rule, but like be nice, man, and it will make your con experience so much better.
Jim Lee was like that too.
And the thing is the one of the key, like what's important and what we always do when we're at a con is just striking up a conversation, showing the appreciation for not just the simple fact that you're in support of just the IPs, the comics in general, but just in support of the simple fact that these are vendors who have, pretty much come out to, sell the product, provide, even books that you may not actually have. And some of them will even check your knowledge to make sure, they are really, really good. It's like
Chris Claremont.
They want to bullshit with you. They love this stuff.
It's also important to realize, like, you aren't at this person's eBay store, or if it's a vendor at their comic book shop. Like these people had to pay for a big con like New York Comic Con or Fan Expo, like upwards of $1,000, $2,000 to rent that space. So they're obviously going to be trying to, make their money back. They're not there for charity just to be nice, just to have fun. They also are trying to feed their family. So like, if they say no for something, it's not always just because they're an asshole or because they're not. So they are there anxious to try to make their money back, to justify, because it's usually not just their table. A lot of times they also have to justify their hotel costs, their travel costs. I mean, if they brought family, like taking their family out while they're doing stuff there, it's a lot of pressure on them to to move enough to justify the trip. I mean, there's a lot of times that dealers lose money. Yeah, a lot of times those dealers will lose money to promote their store or their business or their site because they feel like, all right, if I paid $2,000 for this table and I only make $1,000, but 2,000 people came through and got my card, and I get a few hundred new IG followers, and maybe half of them start becoming regular customers. Maybe I make it down the line, and that's a lot of pressure, and there's a lot going on. So on both sides of the table, always put yourself in the other person's shoes. You want to do well for yourself. They want to do well. Whether or not money changes hands or there's a deal to be made, just be friendly, because what, like that's free. It's free to be nice.
Claremont and Starling was so cool, bro. They held the line up talking to me, man.
And they'll be great too. But then there are other these smaller ones, like these artists that are doing prints and that are doing commissions and stuff at the.
It's awesome.
Yeah. They gotta bust their ass. Odds are they haven't even made back the cost of being at the con by the end of that first day. Hopefully they do by the end of the thing. But you think about it. Depending on the con and what they got to pay, like let's say they maybe paid $2,000.
It's a lot of money they put out, man. It's a lot
to be a vendor and to hotel, especially
renting the tables.
If you're going to a certain town or something like that with a convention, it's not that bad. You come to Boston, man. Hotels for 3 days while you're there, that ain't cheap.
Yeah, right? it's one of the reasons I've been dragging my feet doing the bigger shows, because the bigger shows, it's more risk, more rewards. So it's, I've done a lot of local cons as an artist, and it's a lot of pressure. Even local cons make your money back on a $200 table, and you don't know if the 200 people who showed up to the small con will justify that purchase for the table and for the time that you took your day off from doing whatever you were going to be doing. So with a bigger con like New York or Philly or Boston or San Diego, that's a whole nother level. And so definitely with artists and vendors, there's a lot of pressure on both sides, and you just want a good experience, because everybody's like going through something. Everybody is a lot of pressure for the fans who go and they have to take off of work and bring their family and book a hotel. So it's always nice seeing people nice there, because everybody has a reason to be a little rattled. So when you see good exchanges, people just having fun, shooting the shit, and just being cool with each other, is always a beautiful thing, because there's you get more that way. I mean, have fun no matter how it goes down. You just want to have a fun experience for yourself and for whoever you're dealing with. Like, be good to people.
How many cons have you guys been to where you go in and you see something early on and you snatch it up, you buy it right away, and then like an hour later you go by a booth and be like, oh man, I like that one better, or something, or like you're like, oh, I wish I didn't spend the money on that one because I would have put it on this. Like I don't do that anymore because I'm tempered. I slow down, but like early in the days of first going to cons, you snatch stuff up.
But it goes both ways though, because how many times have you seen something when you on day one and you're like, not this time, I'm gonna wait, and then you don't fucking see the thing again till at all, and it's like shit,
you got to figure out like you have to know
assess, what
like, how many
is likely
copies
to go.
Of that does this guy have? How many copies? And there are also some people will be sneaky, like they see a book that they want and they're not really sure if they're going to get it. They want to come back later. So they take it and they put it out of order somewhere else in the long box or something like that. And then come back to it later,
I'm guilty.
Like, you can't, but like the thing is, go in with a budget. Think about like, okay, this is a ballpark what I want to spend. Sometimes you go over, sometimes you stay under, but most of the time you go over. But just look at it like, okay, I can't, like, it's a 3-day con, all right, or however long you're going to be there. So if you just got a day pass, then like, and a lot of people will do that. It's in my town where I live, so the 3-day pass is better for me because I don't have the hotel expense and stuff like that, so I can do the full 3 days. And I'm like, okay, I cannot just blow through that whole budget on Friday. I still got Saturday and Sunday, so you gotta kind of pace yourself. I went in with a list. A targeted list of things that I wanted to hunt for. And as I started checking stuff off that box, I was a little bit more willing than be like, okay, I'll grab, this thing over here because I'm making my way through the list of stuff that I want. But if you go and buy a bunch of stuff and then you look at the list of things that you really, really want and you haven't even scratched the surface on that yet, it's like, well, you already went through half your budget.
Yeah.
So you got to really think about what your goal is. If you're going there to hunt for books, then that's what you got. If you're going there, you're going to get autographs or photo ops or you want to buy statues or figures or other types of collectibles and stuff. Okay, but like know what your primary goals are at the con, and then you can figure out. I heard about like this dude he was only there for Saturday. He had a day pass, and he spent 4 hours of that day waiting in line for a thing with Ewan McGregor.
That's
4
crazy.
hours.
That's crazy.
Literally half of his con experience was just waiting in line.
Nah,
for that.
That's man. It's
I map it out, man.
I love
you
doing
definitely
photo
gotta
ops
map it
with
out, man.
celebrities that are cool, but like you also have to look at it as like, okay, is that photo that you're gonna have
taking up my whole con, bro?
Worth not having the rest of the experience? And in some cases, there may be an amazing person, once in a lifetime experience to try and meet them, or and then it's like, okay, Frank Miller. I was like, man, I got to do that. But I had worked the rest of the schedule at the con so that it didn't hurt me to spend that time in that line.
I always factor in that. Also, something that a lot of people, it seems like it would be common sense, but I see it happens so much that it's not. But look at when you walk into a con, usually there's multiple entrances, and it's usually a very large showroom floor. What I would highly recommend is the snake strategy. Start at one end and up and down if you're trying to see everything, and up, down, as opposed to bouncing around, because what then happens is you don't even know you're seeing anything. Like if you just walk straight in and then you're just kind of aimlessly wandering around, it's not grocery store. You want to see everything.
Even when you do that, even when you go up one and then down the next and up one,
sometimes they branch.
I would do it 4 or 5 times, because then on like the 5th time, I'd be like, shit, I went up this aisle 4 times and I didn't even realize that was there, because it's sensory overload and you have to account for that.
Absolutely. And that just helps you make sure that you're seeing everything. And like you were saying about the celebrities, that is something that definitely also a lot for if what's important to you. Because personally, me, like, there's not really any, there's very few celebrities that I would say justifies the time and money to take away from. Like, I'm more about the actual comics and the prints and stuff like that. And there's other people who are maybe might not care so much about the comics or the prints or the original art or the toys, and they just want to go meet, say, Chris Evans. And if that's what they're there for, great. But I know that that's 4 hours, 5 hours of the day that you're just stuck there and you're not seeing all the other stuff that you're going to be able to see. And then you have to have so much less time to plan what you're going to do after the fact. So it's definitely, there's sacrifices that have to be made. The same with however many panels you want to go see. I mean, if you're planning to go see 3 or 4 panels from Marvel and, from different creators, that's your day. But then again, you may really, really want to go sit on a Ryan Reynolds panel and be a part of that experience, and that's fine. But just be aware of the limitations that is for the rest of your day, because you might not want to walk the floor and check out, long boxes all day. But that's different strokes, different, for different folks. So that's one of the most important things. Just have a plan, because even if you get a 3-day pass, it might seem like, oh, that's enough time to be random and do whatever I want, until you realize it's Sunday and you feel like you didn't get to see anywhere near as much as you thought you would.
And if you're a collector, and I mean, most people in here can relate to this, like, But even if you collect other stuff, but you don't really collect comic books that much, or you're just kind of getting into it, telling you, man, when maybe it sounds boring, but when you're a collector and you've got like specific things that you're on the hunt for and that you're like really like going through those boxes, when you find one of those books that you're, man, again, you get that electric feeling. And it's things like personally, like, and Lael, you know this, like we've been collecting Hot Toys for so long that there's not really a whole lot of old Hot Toys that we need to hunt down, right? So it's more just waiting to see what new stuff is coming. But with comics, there's always some old school vintage book, something that you don't have in your collection that is hard to find. And when you go hunting at a con for it and you pull the book that you've been looking for months out of that box and it's in your hand, that like it elevates the experience of the con and it makes it so much more fun. And another thing that I'll say is that, and I'm sure Vinny can attest to this, man, like as long as you're cool to them, make friends with these artists, because I'll tell you what, then you work with them, you get a good deal, you get like do some commissions, all right, for like either the future that they can mail to you or the next con. And case in point was there was this back in 2019, Fan Expo Boston, there was this really cool booth where this woman, Jackie, she made all of her art was handmade in copper. Okay. And she goes to tons of cons. If you go to any cons in the States, like decent sized conventions, there's a good chance that you might have seen her stuff. And I walked by all kinds of really cool stuff, but she had this framed piece that was the Goonies logo, the crossbones and the skull and stuff with the eye patch over it. So she made it into One-Eyed Willie, and it said the Goonies. And this thing was so spectacular, I had to buy it, and I did not plan on it, but I had room in my budget, couple $100, bought that from her. Sean Astin was at the con. They had the whole, like all the kids from the Goonies, grown up, they were all there. And so I was the only one in this joint, I'm telling you, had anything sports like football related. I had a Rudy Funko Pop that I was bringing up to get Sean Astin. I grew up a diehard Notre Dame football fan. When I brought that up to him, he's like, man, I do not get much Rudy stuff at these cons. I'll tell you that. I was like, I know, and Sean Astin was so cool. I told him that my old man and I used to watch Notre Dame football every Saturday, and he stopped what he was doing. And for like I'm sure it pissed people off in the line, but for 5 minutes, he was just asking me questions about watching football with my old man. Like he was that good of a dude. And that was a great experience for me. But I brought that piece and I had him sign it, and he geeked out when I took it out of the frame and gave it to him to sign it. Again, 5 minutes, he's just looking, he's like, this is so fucking cool. He was so floored with how cool it was. He was just talking to me about it, geeking out about it, got it signed, brought it back so she could take a picture of it, throw it up on her Instagram and stuff. Well, 3 years later, now that we're back to cons, I emailed her and I was like, hey, I want to get another piece done. Nolan North is going to be there. Nathan Drake, my favorite video game franchise of all time. I want to do a custom
that was a
piece.
cool picture.
I sent her a bunch of different art from the different books and told her which pieces I wanted to incorporate from different games. She sent me back a couple designs. I got to pick. Then she was like, okay, boom. She made the piece custom for me and hand delivered it to me at her booth at Fan Expo. Awesome. And then I was able to go in and get it signed. And same thing, Nolan North looked at it and geeked out with me for like 5-10 minutes just talking about that and other stuff. I got to take really cool pictures with him. But this piece, dude, I'll zoom out a little bit so you can, I don't know, with the glare, how good but this is like, I absolutely love this
that's
piece.
dope. Yeah, that's dope.
I absolutely love this. And
yeah, I like that.
There's a custom piece that nobody else has, so it's just mine. And he signed it, and I absolutely love it. It's going to go with my Goonies one. And I talked to her, and I was like, all right, well, let's see what we can come up with for next year. Right? So, and she's like, absolutely. She's like, let me know, and we'll come up with next year's piece. And that's just the thing. It's like if you make friends with an artist and if you converse with them, you can get some cool custom pieces made. Custom print of your favorite character. Maybe they didn't have something there, but they're like, oh, I can do a Daredevil, I can do a Judge Dredd, I can do whatever, and hook you up with it. So you don't have it there, but you can get it through them, through their website, IG, whatever. So make friends with artists that are busting their asses there. They will work with you and you'll get some cool stuff out of it.
Dude. Yeah, definitely. I think one of my biggest, for me, for attending a con, in general, is the walkthrough. Walkthrough for me is always important because the thing is, I know what I'm targeting. I know what I'm going after. More than likely, it's something that no one else is really looking at, or something that's just very unique because there's a certain artist that I'm, really there for. I know who I'm going through. If I know the artist that I'm actually gonna hit up if I'm looking for any pieces, pertaining to X-23. I know exactly who I'm going through. If I'm looking for anything, Star Wars related, I know what artist I'm gonna actually go through. If I'm looking for anything X-Men related, anything Justice League or Superman related, I know who I'm actually Wonder Woman related. I know who I'm actually going through. Mainly for me, and Vinny will tell you, like majority of the time, I'm there for prints. That's what I'm there for, because chances are the books that I'm looking for, like here for me, because I'm not impatient, but I just don't trust being around a whole bunch of people when I'm looking for certain books. So I know where to go. For me, when I'm actually attending cons, I'm there for prints. That's just what I'm there for. I'm there to basically Artist Alley for prints and having autographed signed prints is what I'm going for. I love it.
We spend so much time at Artist Alley.
Yeah, Artist Alley is always what I actually attend to get my prints, unless I actually see something up on the main floor that I'm looking for. I don't me myself, I don't go to cons for collectibles. I don't. I go for books and prints.
And prints,
that's
majority.
That's
what I go for too, man. Books, prints, autographs.
I go for all of it, but when it comes to comic books and collectibles, I always feel like if there's a comic in a long box that is going to take forever for me to dig for it, I will be able to find that later. But when it comes to art prints, those are many times exclusive, especially with mom and pop artists like myself. Like if there's someone like me at a con, that person might not be there next year. You know what I mean? Like it's different if it's like a Jim Lee or Frank Miller. You're going to be able to get their stuff online. But there's guys who, you're not going to see them around a lot, and they might only have so much of whatever. I really gravitate to that kind of stuff.
Or they're selling originals, and it's not even like a print.
That's what I like,
the original art.
Or they're selling original prints, or they're doing customs, or they're doing just unique stuff that if you didn't get there, you'd have to like go to their IG and like go to their store and do stuff like, or I can just grab it right now and have like a really cool print that nobody else has, or that you don't see very often, or they have a unique mashup or take on something. And
what's the most number of prints you guys ever took away from a con?
I think
a single con.
I'm gonna send Leo a pic. I think one time I had my whole living room just sprawled out. I think
it looked like you were a dealer selling them.
It was crazy.
I probably took like
the next year,
20,
I think
the most I bought.
Like this, I bring a poster
20.
tube with a strap, so that way I can bringing them around. But
poster bag or something.
Absolutely. I got poster tube. But I'll send him a picture of a sprawl.
Yeah,
but
that's the other thing is like come armed with some stuff so you can like safeguard
poster bag and my book bag.
If you like prints, definitely invest in a poster tube. And then that way that stuff is protected, because one of the things, if you are spending a decent amount of money at a con, you have to worry about the logistics of carrying that shit around.
It's going to get bumped into.
You don't want to screw up the stuff that you just bought.
Right.
Everything that you're buying at a con is fragile, whether it be it's all paper or protected by cardboard paper that you don't want to get messed up. So you always have to keep that in. You always have to keep that in mind. Even if you're
some
traveling,
vendors will let you keep stuff behind the booth and pick it up at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Don't abuse that though. Don't like have them waiting around for you to like make sure that you say, I'm going to be back at X time to come get it. You actually do that because they're doing you a solid and keeping it back there to safeguard it. But that is an option. Not really with comic books, but with prints. That's
Bro,
that's why I had my bag. I had a messenger bag with me, and in it I had the It wasn't Gemini, but it was like the cardboard that, you know, most books, if you order them online, that they get shipped to you in. I had one of those with bubble wrap, and every book that I bought, I slid into that cardboard and into the bubble wrap in my messenger bag. So I wasn't just, you know, holding it and putting dents in it with my thumbs, or somebody bumps into me. It was like protected in my bag the whole time. The other thing is, it's okay to bring stuff with you that you have
want to get
that
signed.
You might want that you
I do all the time.
that you want to deal, that you want to trade. Okay.
Oh no, I bring that to get signed.
I brought the Alex Ross signed 9.8 Detective Comics 1000 because I was looking to deal that.
Oh yeah, you told me that. Yeah,
and I found a dealer who wanted it. All right, and I managed to get a handful. I got a good trade. We both made it.
You got 2 for 1,
deal.
right?
No, I got like 5 things from him.
5 for the 1,
including a 9.8 Frank Miller Daredevil Punisher. So
I didn't know you got 5, bro. That's what's up.
I got a bunch of stuff in the trade with him, and that dude was like, he's like, I'm not even getting this from you to sell it. I want this
Just
for my personal collection. So so you find people that are down to do that. It's like, so I had that book, and it's like, I don't want to have to go through the hassle of trying to sell it on eBay or Mercari or Facebook Marketplace. It's like, I know the con's coming. Rather than having to dip into my budget for the con, I can go and I can deal, you know. And these are dealers. This is how they operate their business. I literally I asked and several dealers at several booths there, I asked, like, would you be interested? And they were like, yeah, but I didn't find the right trade in there. So I didn't just be like, okay, well, here, and I'll just take whatever I can get. I went around, and it wasn't until the last like half hour on Sunday that I was there that I pulled the trigger on, that I got what I wanted, and I pulled the trigger on the trade.
Like a 12-year-old now. Look at him.
Dude, it was
like a 12-year-old boy.
This was an adorable pic with the kid.
You know what's great?
I loved it, bro.
I love that.
You know, he
picture,
popped
bro.
in a cassette of Gangsta's Paradise and was bumping
While he was in there.
While he was riding.
It would have been an 8-track.
That's awesome.
You know, no, dude, this was really, really cool, man. You got to go in, and dude was like, he's like, the only rule is, like, you let me open the door and close the door, and then you can touch and do whatever you want while you're in there, and then you wait until I open the door to let you out, and then close it. Like, that was the only thing. He didn't want people slamming the doors. But everything else, he was like, it was $15 a person to go in, but you know, he let me and my 2 daughters go in. He only charges $30. They take your phone, and then they take all these pictures for you. And my wife was taking pictures too. They had the Jurassic Park Jeep there. They had
cool.
They had Ecto 1.
I love that. That's awesome,
dude. That is. I got it right here, baby. This piece, I love this, dude. It is so.
That is an amazing picture, man.
I absolutely love this piece.
Wow.
Right, I bought that, and I saw this early. I saw this like early in the event, but I didn't want to pull the trigger on it because I was like, let me make sure, you know, that
on Daredevil you stopped.
But I went back and got it. My daughter was like, "Why are you waiting? You know you're gonna go back." Right. But this was only $35, and it's framed, and it's like, this thing is so damn cool. I love this. So yeah, that's the thing. Is like, man, you'll find stuff that's awesome that you love. You just gotta, you know, you gotta walk around and soak everything in. Don't just like blow your whole budget right away. But again, because stuff like, you know, I wanted to do that, you know, the Batmobile. That was so that was it was only $30. Could have been 45. He gave us one for free.
No, do that.
But there are all these things that you have to account for that add up that you weren't planning to, like, you didn't, like, I didn't know that they were gonna have the Batmobile with there with pictures as an option.
That's so cool.
So I was like, okay, I see that. I want to do that, but that's going to cost us $30. Could have been 45. So, but when you realize, oh shit, there are like 5 or 6 different things here that are all going to cost about $30 that I didn't know were going to be here, and I wasn't budgeting for, I wasn't accounting for. That adds up. So you want to make sure that you have some kind of like set aside for, this is the, I did not know this was here money.
Yeah.
You you know, so it's like I know I'm gonna go and I'm gonna pick up prints. Although this year was probably the year that I picked up the least amount of prints.
I sent you a picture of to answer his what's the most prints you ever got picked.
That's
that was probably the craziest I ever went. That was when I hadn't been to a Comic-Con.
Most of mine on the
a
wall.
little bit,
and stuff in the package still.
I rotate them out because it takes I
didn't pick up a ton of prints this time, but I did get business cards from a handful that I want to buy prints from them later on.
Yeah, that's the score, Vinny. Like, come on, bro.
All right, so you probably got a good like 30 there or so.
Yeah, it's about 30 or so. Yeah,
about 30. Yeah.
That's
it. I love that, man.
But I mean, the good thing too is if you like 3 or 4 different things from one vendor, they'll hook you up a lot of times with like,
hell yeah,
you buy these 4 and I'll give you that one.
Give 4, I give you 2 free or something.
I've done it myself many times. Like if I have a buy 2 get 1 free and somebody buys 2 and they get a free one, and there's other ones that they wanted but they want to take a look around first. I'm like, I remember that you already bought 1 or 2 or whatever, and you come back and that deal goes for as many as you get. So I mean, a lot of dealers will do the same thing. If they see somebody came back or it gets more, they just hook them up. I mean, that's just good business.
Yeah, and see, even shout out to Mario in the chat, right? He's an OG collector, but like you get there, and he even said he wishes he spent more time in Artist Alley. Lesson learned for next time when he was at Celebration, right?
Yes.
Even if you've been around the block, it's hard because you get so sucked into like this one section, and like there could be this whole like corner or a massive booth that you spend like an hour in just looking through all the stuff in the booth, and then you realize, oh shit, I gotta look at some other stuff too. It's easy to get sucked into those things, or like you get into a really long conversation with a really cool artist or something, and it's really cool, but you realize, oh shit, I've been here for like 45 minutes talking to this guy, and I get that happened to me with this dude, this guy who's friends with Alex Ross, and he did this amazing, he did several amazing pieces, and I was just talking to him, and it's not that like, okay, he was licensed, he got a license to do official artwork. He was commissioned by Lucasfilm and Disney to do several pieces, and I still have to get this framed, so there might be a glare. It's in like plastic, but this thing,
that is sick. Yeah. Is that the whole Star Wars gang?
This is the whole Skywalker saga. And what I like about this, what you can see, Lael, if you can solo this, so I'll try so you can kind of see without too much of a glare. God. There we go. So each thing, this has all the way from the like Clone Wars and animation you see in the bottom there with Ahsoka and Thrawn. And then it's got the prequels, and then Rogue One up there, and then on the far side it's got the sequel trilogy, and then in the middle you've got the 3 main movies from the original trilogy. What the artist was telling me he did is like, you see those kind of rings, those like circles. It's like those are basically like what he was envisioning was like water droplets on a lens when they kind of, and the light hits it, and you get those like circles, and each circle is a different part of the Skywalker saga. With the prequel trilogy, the sequel trilogy, Rogue One, the animation and the Clone Wars and stuff. And then you've got the main trilogy. You've got each one represented, all 3 of those movies. And this piece, I just saw this and I was like, this thing is so I have to get this framed and have this in my house. So, but I talked to that dude for like a solid hour, just because it was, he was a cool guy and it was fun. And but then you get lost in that and you're like, oh shit, I gotta like go do other stuff. The prints, but you find those artists that you connect with their style, and you just want to sit there and shoot the shit with them all.
And just suck it all up. Yes, you take it all in. That's the thing, is like, that's the beauty of it. Is just the retrospect from the artist. Because here's the thing, it was crazy because, and I talked about this before, from the last con. One of my favorite artists was there, and I get pieces from them every time I'm there. And I got the last piece I got from him. We had a conversation. It was 2 pieces I got. Was an Ahsoka piece that I got from him, and I walked away. And I came back because there was another piece that I wanted. He was like, "Wait a minute, I want to ask you something." He said, "You're Leo Rockwell, you're the 1/6 scale man." I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Bro, I watch your shows all the time." And I was like, "Get the fuck out." Like, I couldn't believe that. And he was like, "Yeah, bro, I watch it all the time." So you never know like who's actually
who you bumping into.
You admire them, but then they also reciprocate that. And it was crazy because I was telling Toya was like, "Yo, that's a premonition right there. I'm telling you." I was like, "Yo, that's incredible that something like that would actually happen." And it, it's definitely inspiring, man. Like, when you go to these cons, just being at Celebration, meeting people that pretty much do watch, but you're just a fan of the. I can't
of them.
I gotta use this all the time. So here's the thing. I gotta let y'all know that, right?
Fan of the work.
So if you see me at this year's Comic-Con, right? If I'm taking pictures of Vinny, there's for a particular reason. Because his favorite line, his tagline, when he walks up to any artist, especially female artists, his tagline is, "I'm such a fan of your work." And then that is, bro, literally, that's how the conversation starts. Then once he's done, he'll turn around and do this. Do it, Vinny. Do it, Vinny. There you go. He'll do that. He'll do that.
That's what I'm saying.
The deal with
it reels them in.
That's seriously. It's always, "I'm such a fan of your work," and that's how the conversation starts. But I mean, the thing is, that's one of the most beautiful.
It's all love, but it's an honest thing to say, and it's just like, I mean, how many different ways are there to start that conversation when you're coming up? It's like, I'm such a fan of your work, man.
I'm such a fan of your work. But I mean, it literally, like,
not like, do you want to come down to the room?
Like, you can't lead with that.
I don't know about Vinny. I don't know.
The year before last was the very first time that Vinny and I actually took Toya to Comic-Con, and it was a beautiful thing because for her, she had never been there before, but just the experience, she loved it. She took it all in, and she's like, "I can't wait to come back." You know what I mean? So she was there every day. We walked every day, and she was just all in for it, getting pictures, talking to different artists, and
energy.
The beautiful thing about the con in general, it's, yes, we're there for the art. Yes, we're basically there for, the conversations with the artists, picking up certain pieces, getting graded pieces and stuff like that. But the beauty is that you see culturally all walks of life. You know what I mean? Basically seeing like different individuals there with, dressed up and, cosplaying in hijabs. Like they actually are fully, hooded and everything, wrapped. But they are there, just embracing it. And I'm telling you, the beautiful thing this year is that you're going to see a whole bunch of Kamala Khans at this year's Comic-Con. You're going to actually see that. But it's just, it's so beautiful, man. It's just
there were a lot this weekend.
Yeah.
There were a lot of Kamala Khans this weekend. And it's cool because you always see the classics, but you'll also see the ones that have a lot of hype around them too, that are building up right now. So you see some really, really cool ones that, you don't necessarily see every year, but it's like, oh, Ms. Marvel is hot right now. And you see more people were exposed to it, and you see more people willing to, it's cool. It definitely helps with the vibe.
Definitely, man. Let me get these. Nick said he'll be at this year's Comic-Con. He'll be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So we'll probably, let's link up.
I'm trying to go
Saturday.
That's a good thing though, is people in the chats and in your Facebook groups and stuff like that, connect with people that like you only really get to talk to online, but it's like you're both going to be at the con and like meet up. Like, I didn't get to do that much of that this time around just because I had a bunch of stuff going on, but like I bumped into Dan Default and Eric, who regularly stream on the Batman Collector Statue Collectors channel.
That's Capullo.
Like, yeah. Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Capullo, and then I got this one's from Starling. Starling signed this one. He signed this one.
Dope.
It was real cool, man. And then this is was an original artist that did this one, man. I had to get this.
Yes, indeed.
And then I got another Starling, man. Oh, this is Greg Horn right here. This is Greg Horn with Thanos.
Yeah, never get Greg Horn to do a sketch for you though.
Dude. Oh, a sketch?
Never get Greg Horn to do a sketch for you.
Oh, okay. That's all Greg Horn too.
Yeah.
He was a beast though when it comes to like getting it the regular drawing the whole.
He could do digital. He could do digital, but don't ask him to do an original.
Do a sketch. Oh, okay. He was cool, man. He was one of the guys that was like real laid back and cool too, bro.
Yeah.
I like Horn.
Real quick, I got a $5 super chat by my man One Pouch Man. He said, that is dope. He said, I set up with him. What did he say? I set up with my friend for MegaCon Orlando every year to move the overage of stuff in my collection. We spent $4K before we set foot on the show for woo.
Damn.
Wow. Yeah, dude, man.
Wow.
It's not cheap.
Well, MegaCon is expensive, bro.
Yeah, it definitely is.
That is sick. Is that who is that? Miles?
It is Miles.
I can't see.
We got the Spider-Verse here.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see.
Oh, wait. Oh, I see them all now. Oh, that's dope.
Yep.
Yeah, that's super dope.
I like that, man. That's dope. I like that.
I saw this one. I was like, oh yeah, I'm getting this one. I could.
Speaking of which, another drop I wanted to actually talk about earlier. I didn't even really talk about, but the latest edition, the latest run of Amazing Spider-Man is simply amazing. Like literally, it is. It's so dope.
Yep.
Especially like I said, there's also the Ben Reilly story that's dope too.
They just finished with
that.
Yeah, they just basically finished that. So that's pretty dope. So man,
there's a lot of mystery to what's going on. Like you don't know, like basically, like they kind of allude to like Peter did something.
Yep.
That like damaged all his relationships with like MJ, with his aunt.
Yeah.
And like Norman Osborn is trying to be nice to him and give him it's like really weird. And you know that they did something together that blew up Peter's life. Because obviously it was things were going too well for him, married to MJ and stuff. But now she's with somebody else, and apparently there are kids, and it's like it's all crazy. You're like, you have so many questions, but it's good at like giving you just enough to like you're chomping at the bit for more. So this one is really good.
Yeah, it's a setup because they're trying to it seems like they're trying to separate Peter from people that he has attachments to at the moment. Like, I mean, there's really separation there. So
but then also bringing in other characters for him to spend some time with that he hasn't, like, Black Cat.
Yep.
Right. And I've always loved his relationship and interactions with Black Cat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right? Me too.
And so with MJ and Peter on the outs, it gives some freedom for them to bring in Black Cat and explore that. And Zeb Wells has been doing a really great job as the writer on that. This has been a really good run on Spider books in general. I think they've had some really good runs. Miles is on fire right now. Got the Edge of the Spider-Verse going on. The Spider books are on fire right now. I mean,
what's up, man?
It's hard to find a book that Marvel isn't doing a good job with right now. The way they're handling Ghost Rider, Punisher, Daredevil, the way that they're handling characters like Echo as the Phoenix in Avengers, and dealing with this ongoing storyline with Mephisto and and the ancient kind of original Avengers, stuff like that. They're doing a really good job with legacy and with a lot of this lore. And Spider-Man is another one that's doing really well. I'm enjoying Strange. I think all around Marvel is really firing on all cylinders right now.
Definitely. We got DJ in with a $1.99 super chat. Good evening, Jen. Stopping by to say what's up, man. What's up to you, bros?
What's going on, man?
Yeah, so definitely we're going to round out the show. We're at like hour and 33 minutes, man. It's been a great discussion, preparation. Again, we got New York Comic Con coming up here in October. A couple more cons actually happening before April. April is going to be celebration in London, so that's going to be interesting as well. So it's a lot actually going on, man. But again, thank you.
Before we wrap up, I'll just give people wanted to see a quick rundown of like some of the books that I picked up. So I'll run through them like rapid fire, just to show people a couple of them. But Wolverine 23, really good black and white cover. So that's a nice one. The new Predator just started, and this is the C2E2 cover. This one is
I like that.
I was pretty impressed with the first issue. So the new Predator series is one to check out.
Mm-hmm.
This is these are two variant covers that I got for Daredevil 1. This one is the 1 in 200 variant by Joe Quesada that I absolutely love. So I had ordered that one, and then this one as well, which actually this is one that Jason had turned
we
on
talked about that.
to me.
Yeah.
So I picked those up, not at the con, but and then this is Daredevil number 6. This is
beautiful.
The last one of the yellow suit. And this one, I was very, very happy to pick this one up. So that was a big one for me. Then I also got here Daredevil number 10. Again, and some of these are beat up, some of them are better condition, but like these are vintage, like, just like really big for me. So number 10, and then also number 20.
Nice.
And then I managed to pick up some classic Frank Miller ones. I got 159, 160, and 161. This is a classic Frank Miller cover that's Bullseye out of his uniform, which that's one of the only times he's ever appeared on a cover without his uniform. And then these are classic Bullseye and Black Widow and
she have a blow dryer around her neck
and Daredevil color. So
that's nice.
Those were cool. So I managed to pick those up, and then got some pretty good keys in. This is the first, even though he had appeared in Spider-Man before, this is the first appearance of Kingpin in Daredevil, and it's the first time that his name was revealed to be Wilson Fisk. But they didn't actually come face to face until the next issue, 171, which I managed to also pick up while I was there. So this is the first actual face to face meeting of Daredevil and Kingpin. This is the first appearance in Marvel Comics of the Hand. So I was really happy to snag this one up, 174. 176. I have 175 that I ordered from a dealer that's actually coming. But 176, this is the first appearance of Stick, who trained Elektra and Daredevil. So that was cool. And then this one is the death of Stick. So that was really cool. Yeah, the first appearance and the death of Stick. And this one, they actually did an homage cover for the new Daredevil number 1 like this. So I have those two to go next to each other. So that's cool. And then last couple, I picked up some of the David Mack run from Marvel Knights with Echo and her backstory, and I just love the art style that he used.
The cover is awesome.
In these are like absolutely sick. Although it's kind of weird because I swear that Daredevil picture right there kind of looks a little bit like Ezra Miller as the Flash.
It
Not
does.
gonna lie.
It does.
Oh God.
But yeah, some of the Brian Michael Bendis stuff, and that's a throwback to the yellow suit.
Yellow and red, that's awesome.
Managed to pick up X-Force. This is Deadpool's second appearance in X-Force 2.
I have that one.
Picked up a very nice grade copy of New Mutants 87. This is the first appearance of Cable.
Yep.
And then X-Men 282, the first appearance of Bishop.
I have that too. I showed you that one. I have that one.
Love that. And then this is a CBCS slab. I mean, I might have them crack it open if they ever do an in-house signing with Frank Miller. I'll get this one signed. But this is 183, the first appearance of the Punisher in Daredevil.
Nice.
So I got that at a 9.8. And the one I had Frank Miller sign is the issue after this one. That's the one where Daredevil is holding the gun and pointing it on the cover, and I love that cover. That's actually their first team up. It's the next one in this, but it's the first team up. But this one is the ultimate pickup for me this weekend, and this is Daredevil number 7. This is the first ever appearance of the red suit. And he's battling Namor on the cover. This was my Grail. This is the one that I set out to find while I was there. I didn't plan on being able to buy Daredevil number 1, and I was able to hold one. I just didn't want to spend the $3,200 at the time. But I was able to pick this one up, and this is just this is the ultimate for me right here. This was like
Yo.
I got this on the first day, and this made the con for me. Like
That's awesome, man.
I got this, and
congrats on that one.
1965 Ford. This is like history in your hands, and this is like this was my Grail. So to pick that up, man, that made my whole con experience right there.
Yeah.
Dope.
That was. I got other stuff too, but that's like the highlights of the whole
Grail piece.
Dope.
That's awesome,
Appreciate that, bro. Definitely,
Congrats,
man.
bro.
So
Congrats.
again, great content, great conversations, guys, tonight. And again, like I said, this is strictly about cons. You getting preparation for the cons, like what to expect, how to maneuver. Just kind of like, striking up the conversation with your favorite artist, cash only, definitely.
Have a plan.
Again, have a plan. Definitely your plan of attack. Like normally, again, my plan of attack is normally sprint. Prince.
Sprints to the Prince.
Sprints to the Prince. Exactly. So that's normally it. But again, thanks everybody out there for actually
hit the ATM before you get there. Don't use the ones there and take like $10 fee hits.
$10 fees.
Come in with some cash.
Bring water and sneak in snacks.
Yeah, definitely make sure that you actually do that. Again, and don't try to cover the entire con in one day. If you can make it through, and especially if you're there multiple days. If you're there for one day, then try to cover as much as you can.
Yeah, I do my
but if
Saturday.
you're there multiple days, kind of break it up so you can have the enjoyment. Do get some photo ops, stuff like that. So just just embellish the whole thing. The experience is always with people that you're around. It just makes such a fun time. So definitely do that. But yeah, man, great show tonight. Again, be back here next week. Again, the episode of She-Hulk begins this Wednesday, so we'll definitely be talking about that.
It came quick.
Yeah, it did come quick. So we'll be giving our take on that first episode. So do expect that. But yeah, man, Vinny, what you got coming up, bro? What you got coming up next, man?
I actually have a store signing on Saturday from 12 to 4 at Comics and Paperbacks Plus. Man. Yeah, thanks, man. Congrats, so if you're anywhere near the Hershey area, Comics and Paperbacks Plus in Palmyra, like less than 10 minutes away is Hershey Park. Make it a weekend.
That's
Comics and Paperbacks Plus.
Congrats, bro.
Yeah, so I'll be signing and doing some commissions and just selling some prints and shooting shit with fans who come in and buy comics. So it's always fun to do like in-store comic book signings because even if it's slow, you're in a comic book shop. So
yeah, dude.
Yeah,
I still got my miles that you drew. I still didn't get that yet. My Miles Morales.
No, man. Sorry about that. I got too much going on anyway.
2 years. Waiting for like a year almost.
Not bad. Speaking of you, Jedi Kid, man, if you haven't already, Vincent Dunbar on Instagram, definitely make sure that you can actually get over there as well. Store, you can actually get the link to the store where you can pick up some prints. So make sure that you definitely do that. Great content over there. Jedi Pimp, what you got coming up, bro?
I'm trying to hold off on opening this box. I got the damn Batmobile sitting up in my cupboard over there in my closet. I haven't opened the box yet. That thing is huge, bro. I don't know where I'm gonna put the tumbler at in this. Yeah. My room is big, but with both the cars, I'm gonna have to make another case. But it's like, damn, you're gonna be moving hopefully in like 4 months. We're waiting on lumber now. So COVID. Yeah, I know, bro. I cannot wait. That's the next room's gonna be about that big. I cannot wait to move. But that's it, man. Getting ready for the little girl. Getting ready for school tomorrow, and I'm going to work tomorrow. That's it, bro. I got some more stuff. I got Bubble coming, the double pack. I finally pulled the trigger and bought it. Like, what? Let me go ahead and buy it. You guys got it already?
It's worth it. You get it.
Yeah, definitely, bro.
Is it good?
Got it. Yeah.
Well, I got that.
That's pretty much because after I do this, because I'm almost finished with that's just gonna be dope. To wait till you see my Taskmaster versus the World, bro. It's incredible, man. Like it's an incredible.
I bought her too. Yeah,
bro. It's so dope the way I have it set up. So I can't wait to do that. But after that, I'm gonna do the Boba Fett Nomad with the two Tusken Raiders. And I'm trying to knock that out basically, but I want to get all my Marvel stuff because I still got to crack open the diecast Mark V and also the classic suit.
You haven't opened the Mark V? That's your favorite one. You haven't.
Everything in order. Everything in order.
Suitcase armor is still in the box.
Everything in order, bro. Is that's how it's been. But yeah, and then after that, I'll do the DX19 with the Batmobile. So I'll actually do that. So yeah, it's just a lot of stuff. But that, yeah, bro, once you get that 2-pack in hand, it's probably one of the best that they've actually.
I can't wait for that.
The armored one, that's my favorite Boba Fett.
Yeah,
the beat up one, right?
Boba Fett in 6 scale. In the 2-pack.
Yeah,
the armored one, the beat up.
I've heard a lot about it, so I said, you know, I'll go ahead and pull the trigger and get it.
Yeah, it's definitely still dope, bro. So definitely, man. Brendan, what you got coming up, man? Mass X effort collection. What you got going on over there besides being butt ass naked?
Man, just trying to recover a little bit from a crazy week last week, but I mean, I've got client shoots tomorrow and Thursday, and then tons of editing to do this week, and I'm trying to read all these books that I have backed up to read, and I have to get back to The Boys, and I have to get back to Star Trek Strange New Worlds.
Good show, bro.
Yeah, it is. It's both of them. I've just been like, I haven't been able to touch a single thing like on TV in the last like week and a half because of like everything going on. So hopefully I push through and I can do some late night watching and stuff this week, but it's really just that. And then She-Hulk on Wednesday. And each week, you know, there'll be people all nervous about how Daredevil's going to be handled until he pops up and stuff. And,
yeah.
You know, we'll deal with all that nonsense, but
yeah, it's going to be made for the interesting conversation next Monday. I can't wait, bro.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Just remember, everybody, when you come back, when we talk about that show next week, when you watch the show, remember it is supposed to be a comedy. Okay, just remember that before you watch it. Okay,
that's the way the books were written. She always breaks the fourth wall, so you got to always remember that, man.
If you read the She-Hulk comics, then you should know what you're in for with this show. I'm not saying that means that they're going to nail the landing. We don't know. We got to wait and see. But it's supposed to be a comedy. This is not supposed to be something super serious and dark, and you know, just like so. Just go into it understanding that what you're supposed to be watching, because if you go in thinking it's going to be like the Winter Soldier, you're going to be disappointed. So just don't set yourself up for disappointment, because I'm really looking forward to this show, and we're only a day and a half away from it now.
Hell yeah. So definitely, guys, thank you for being on board tonight. Everybody out there, just remember, like I said, we got a couple of things actually coming up here. Again, we are into the Halloween initiative, where basically all donations and super chats that are coming through from now until mid-October are going towards the local women's shelter within the area. These donations will help, you know, each individual kid get a costume and, you know, pretty much celebrate Halloween and be a part of, you know, the festivities. So that's where all the super chats will be going. So again, every super chat that's donated, I'm taking names of everyone who has actually donated a super chat. Your names will go in and be tagged in with that, so you're recognized that you've donated towards such a good cause. So definitely, man, we will be running this from now up until mid-October. So thank you very much for all the participants, everybody who has actually donated, even if it was like 99 cents, even if it was $1.99, it doesn't matter. You've donated, your name will be put in. So definitely is going towards a great cause. Again, thank you guys for being part of the show and always tuning in every Monday for Comic Book Talk with Friends. Doesn't matter if it's 46, doesn't matter if it's 10, doesn't matter if it's like 5 people. We have this discussions because it's fun. It's all about comics. It is what we do. Hopefully you enjoyed it and you'll keep the ball rolling. Again, pay it forward. Be kind to your neighbors as always, man. We love y'all. And remember, just remain a geek and always have fun with it. We'll talk to y'all later. And yeah, we'll be back. Peace out. We love y'all. Let's go.